God bless us, Pastor Stephen J. And today is your afternoon nugget. Yesterday's message was forgiving and forgetting. And we talked about, you've always heard the saying, I can forgive, but I'll never forget. And a lot of times when we say I will never forget, we are literally holding on to that moment of hurt. We're literally holding on to that pain, and that when that person, place, or thing comes around, it just brings back old scars and old wounds and stuff like that. It's because we're holding on to that. And I like to liken that up to the story where Jesus is confronted by the Pharisees, and they say this woman was caught in the act of adultery, and according to the law of Moses, you should stone her. When we say we forget, we're holding those stones ready to throw. And they call it nowadays, they call it receipts. I got receipts too. And Jesus said, he that has never sinned before, let him cast the first stone. And all you really hear is rocks dropping to the ground because no one was able to stand. No one was able to throw stones. And so one thing God shared with me was that forgetting is releasing. And when you look up that word forgetting in Greek, it literally means to neglect, put into oblivion, uncared for. To break that down simply, imagine if the situation that you're not forgetting is a house plant and you forget to water. What happens to that house plant? It's gonna die because of neglect. I'm no longer watering it. I'm no longer taking care of it. I'm no longer turning the soil. I'm no longer putting in nourishment. And the more we put in nourishment and water that pain, and water that issue, water whatever it is that happened during that time that we're not forgetting, holding on to those stones or holding on to the receipts, it's not doing us any good. This is where the forgiving comes in. Jesus told his disciples that, how can your Father in heaven forgive if you don't forgive? And if you can't forgive, then your Father in heaven can't forgive you. There are a lot of times that we're honest with ourselves. We go to God and ask for forgiveness. But imagine if we ask God for forgiveness and he says, well, what about you and your sister, you and your brother, you and your mom, you and your dad, or whatever? You're holding on to that. Or Peter said to Jesus, how many times I gotta forgive my brother? And Jesus said, and Peter said 7 times. Jesus said no, 7 times 70. Completion. There's no unlimited time, because we come to God with the same thing. So therefore we must forgive and we must forget, because forgetting is releasing.